Hey, it's your band as a business. I'm Cornelis, and this is my weekly vlog about the day-to-day realities of being an independent musician. In a moment, I'm going to tell you about how I went viral on TikTok again, and I will show you the stats for that as well as how it impacted my Spotify streaming figures. But first, I'll just give you an update on what I've been up to over the past week. So on Friday evening, I performed a small solo show down in South London. I played for half an hour and there were two other acts. It was a pretty fun gig because the pub was also a hostel, so there were a mixture of locals and tourists sitting there, but they weren't really there for the music. They were just hanging out in the pub, and there happened to be music that evening. Still, it was a fun gig to perform, and I made some friends and some contacts, and who knows, maybe a fan or two. And it's always good to check out new venues in London, discover new pubs. Yeah, it was fun to go down there. It's called the Walrus if you're down near Waterloo Station. So check it out. It's a fun place to hang out. And that street is a nice street. There's a couple of pubs and restaurants and stuff going on there. Anyway, now, I thought I had a second gig lined up this April for the 29th, but I just received an email from the organizer telling me that the pub is no longer hosting that music evening, which is a shame because it was a very good evening. It was every Monday, and they would have three or four, sometimes five acts performing there, and it was always good quality music. The sound was great, and the people, it was just a normal pub, but the people that were there were really into the music usually. So it's a shame that that night isn't happening anymore. But I told the organizer, let me know if you move to a new venue or what's happening in the future because yeah, it's a shame. It was a good night. Uh, as well as that, I'm looking to organize a band gig. Now, I approached the venue and they got back to me and said, okay, you can come, but you need to bring 15 people. Now, a lot of bands and musicians will just blag and say, "Oh yeah, we can bring 15 people," and just yeah, not worry if they can't actually bring the numbers. Now, I don't want to do that with this venue because a lot of independent venues are struggling around the world, but in the UK as well, many of them are closing, including iconic venues where huge bands like Radiohead and Oasis got started. I'm thinking particularly of what is it called? It's called Moles in Bath in the West Country, and I don't want to. I don't want to tell this venue, yeah, I can bring 15 people, and then only two or three show up potentially. And you could say, okay, you need to be more confident in yourself and just promote the hell out of it. But I realistically, maybe I can get five people if I work really hard at this point. So I think I'm going to respectfully decline that offer because I don't want to do the venue dirty, right? And I also don't want to burn any bridges with this venue. I don't want them to think, oh, okay, we're not going to book him again because he can't bring enough people. So I'm going to see if I can find some other gig to perform at. And in the meantime, I just need to work on this on the social media, right, in order to get my music out there and build a following because it's it's just different. It seems that nowadays, compared to back in the day, you would play live in order to build a following, and now it seems, yeah, you can obviously you should do that as well, but so much of it is social media. There are bands that just blow up on social media first and then they start gigging, and it's just not the same the way it was back in the day. So that's what I'm working on. And okay, so that's gonna segue into how I went viral on TikTok again, and I will share my screen now. Okay, so this is my TikTok profile. Here you can see a photo post which has 222,000 views, and that's been since Friday, I think I posted it. And it has 5,922 likes, 472 comments, and 455 saves. And looking on the app, it showed something like 117 shares. So what is it? It's a photo post, and in the first one, I asked the question, "Who was the queen of indie sleaze?" I'll let you know what indie sleaze is in a moment for those of you that don't know. And I posted pictures of various models and it girls from about 10-15 years ago, and the song I attached to it is my song Don't Be Jealous. Now, what is indie sleaze? Basically, over the past year or so, this term indie sleaze has popped up online, and there's an Instagram account called indie sleaze. Go check it out. And basically, it seems to it's a retroactively being applied to a time period that is perhaps the 2000s or mid 2000s until the mid 2010s roughly, and it's being applied to the music of that time period, as well as fashion, as well as in this case models or it girls or whatever you want to call it. And in terms of the music, it could be the Strokes, it could be the Libertines, it could be LCD Sound System, it could be the Rapture. There's controversy about what is and what isn't indie sleaze. Some people don't even think it's a thing, and it was just called indie back then. But whatever your opinion is, there's definitely an Instagram account called Indie Sleaze, which is posting images that's got thousands and thousands of followers and comments. And I realized that my song Don't Be Jealous would have fit in with that scene if it had been released back then. And that's because the music, my influences for that song are bands like Blondie and Talking Heads, and it's a very danceable, funky tune, but it's an indie rock tune at heart. So I think it really fits in with this whole indie sleaze aesthetic, and I thought, why not jump on it? So I made another photo post last week where I'll just show it to you, because I found this collage, as it were, starter pack, indie sleaze starter pack, and you can see like all these pictures, the model Alexa Chung, and people from various bands, and the clothes that the girls were wearing back then. And this got 3,000 views about, and 100 likes, and 15 comments, and 8 shares, and that that's pretty good, because I was struggling. I was getting a couple of hundred views. And then I posted one about CBGBs, which got almost 600, and then I did this Who Was the Queen of Indie Sleaze one, which got more than 200,000 views, so that's great. And I thought, okay, let me do a part 2, because a lot of people were commenting, oh, you didn't include these girls, or that person, or what about the musicians? So I did a part 2, as you can see here. But that's so far only received 4,000 views, 82 likes, 30 comments, and 8 saves. And even though I made sure that the image quality was better, more high resolution, I included all the people that supposedly I'd forgot the first time round. But yeah, it just didn't blow up as much, it just goes to show TikTok, right? It's somewhat random, and that first post, it really seemed to resonate and hit with people, and the second one hasn't so far, even though I've been replying to people's comments from the first version, because they would ask, oh, where's Peaches Geldof and where's Pixie Geldof? So I would say, look at part 2, I just posted it. Anyway, but still 4,000 is nothing to sneeze at. And if you followed my previous videos, you will know that I accidentally went viral with something that was a bit too negative and didn't really fit with what I wanted to be about, and then I got slammed down and was only getting 200, 300, 400 views, and I've been working to break beyond that, and it's happened a couple of times. This one's got 900, this one about the Libertines 2,500. I did a quick reaction to their new album, and 600. So it was a success from that point of view, and I feel, even though there was controversy in the comments, it wasn't toxic and negative. It was just people saying, oh, what about this girl, you forgot this one, or asking about the musicians. And I'll do a part 3 with musicians like MIA and Beth Ditto and Karen O and things like that, Florence Welch. So I'll do that, so I'll do that. But it was, on the whole, it wasn't a negative conversation in the comments. And yes, people saying indie sleaze wasn't a thing, or this isn't indie sleaze, this is. but it was light-hearted and fun. Now, how did this impact my streaming figures over the weekend? So I think I posted this on Thursday or Friday, this very viral one, and then the second one I posted on, I think it was Sunday morning. I can't remember. it's all vague now. But let's see how it impacted my streaming figures. Not at all, so far at least. Now, with my previous viral moment, there was a bit of a delay, so I'm hoping maybe that that people who, because almost, what is it, more than 400 people saved this. Let me have a look. 455 saves. Now, how many people saved this because they're interested in the models, and how many saved it because of the song? That's the question. The same question I had with my previous viral moment. So I'm hoping maybe 10, 15, 20 people are into the song as well, and will then look it up online, hopefully. But yeah, again, no immediate impact. Now, I'm not, as with my previous viral moment, I'm not insanely disappointed or surprised by this. Well, maybe a little bit disappointed, but it goes to show that, once again, that you can go viral on TikTok and it might not, or probably isn't, because of your music. And so you have to think about, what are you putting effort into? Now, this post obviously was absolute minimum effort. So it took me like 10-15 minutes to look up, type in indie sleaze models, and then find pictures and their names. The hardest part was matching the names with the pictures, because I don't know who these people are, right? So I just had to like keep notes of who was who and not make a mistake. But yeah, so minimal effort, got some exposure, and so that's fine from that point of view. I'm not disappointed from that point of view. But yeah, just going viral, creating viral content, it might not impact your music, how many people listen to your music at all. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, going forward, am I still going to create content like this? Yeah, probably, because it's not outside of the outside of my demographic in terms of people that might be interested in my song. And I can't remember where you can see that, but I think I got maybe 50 new followers. Again, they might be following me for the wrong reason, but it's in my demographic. When I look at the demographics of the people that watched this post or saw this post, it's inside the demographic that I think I should be going for my music. So it's fine, minimal effort, quite a good outcome. But yeah, it shows like it's not going to immediately impact your music. But again, would you expect that with this kind of post? What I do want to do, obviously, is create video content where I'm front and center as a musician, and introducing myself and introducing my music. And I want to see how that goes, because people like Damien Keys really advocate that, and he seems to get good results for his clients. Now, other people will say, actually, that is not such an effective way of marketing music, and that you have to market your music in a way where the music is accompanying good content. But I don't know, something like this kind of contradicts that. Anyway, it just shows I have to try different types of content and see what works. I'm happy with this result. I don't, there was no huge negativity. It went viral in mostly a positive way. It went viral amongst my target demographic, or one of my target demographics, and we'll see in the next couple of days if there's any bump in my streaming figures. Now, one question: do I get any money for this? Because I had, how many streams did I have for the previous one that went viral? 259,000 views. I took that down in the end, and this one 220,000 views. Do I get money because people heard my song, even though it's like 30 seconds of it or whatever? I need to investigate this. Anyway, so yeah, that's my second viral moment on TikTok, and let's see. I'm going to continue. I'm going to try different types of content and see what really works in terms of growing myself as an artist. How are you doing on TikTok? Let me know if you've got any tips from me, what's working, what's not working, and I'll speak to you guys next time.